Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Lens of Truth, with me, Ivan Florentino. And for today's video, it's been 4 years since Nintendo released the Nintendo Switch Online. And also, a few years later, they released the expansion pass, which features a lot more games from different systems. So when this service released, a lot of people wondered, is it worth it? And I'm here to show you everything that it offers. And before we get started, if you're new to the channel, consider hitting the like button, ringing the bell, leaving a comment, and let's go. Alright, so let's take a look at the Nintendo Switch Online apps. So the launch date for the NES app was launched on September 4th, 2018. And alongside it was the Super Nintendo, so there was only 2 available at that time. And then eventually, with the expansion pass, it introduced the Sega Genesis, then the N64, the Nintendo 64, and just recently, after the Nintendo Direct here in 2023, they released the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance app.
Game Boy games are being added to Nintendo Switch Online. Game Boy Advance games are being added to Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack.
And they also included this Nintendo Switch Online section right here at the bottom of your Switch. And it offers a lot of things in here. So let's go ahead and take a look to see everything that it does. So I'm actually in the family membership plan right here. So here is the home section. So a lot of people have been wondering, is it worth it? And I'm here to tell you that it is Not only are you able to play a lot of online Nintendo games, like for example Splatoon 2, Splatoon 3, Mario Kart 8, and Super Smash Brothers is the only way to play this to have an online membership, and it is worth it now, being that it's been out for 5 years plus. It offers right here the online play, so it features a lot of titles that you can play with. Go ahead and take a quick look at the games that it features. This is going to directly take me to the Nintendo eShop. So there's a lot of games that you're able to play online with, but this is the only way to do it. You have Tetris 99, which is also offered only if you have a Nintendo Switch Online app. So this is one of those games that was released 4 years ago, and this is a great game to play. Just 99. So yeah, there's a lot of games. All the Pokemon games. So included with this is the smartphone app, which a lot of people, it feels like Nintendo's really backwards and really behind the times, but it does, one of the best things it does is with the Splatnet and Splatnet 2 and Splatnet 3 with the Splatoon games, where you're able to buy things, buy clothing, special clothing that otherwise would not be in the regular game, which is pretty cool. You can also use it with Animal Crossing and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And it does have voice chat for certain games. See, so these are the games that are supported with the voice chat, most popular game. Go back, so these are the games that are included. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, the Nintendo 64, and the Game Boy Advance. And you can even play the European versions, and if you have a Japanese account, the Japanese version as well. Now, one of the criticisms that people have said about Nintendo is the slow drip feed of games, but I feel like because they have actually 6 systems, including the Sega Genesis, they're able to include so many games a lot quicker now. And with this, you can also have the save data, the cloud save data, which is really cool. So you can back up all of your games, most games included. I know there's an exception to a handful of them, but almost every single game you're able to back up. And then also there's special offers for members who have this. So for example, Pac-Man 99, Tetris 99, and free game trials with certain games in the past. For example, Mario plus Rabbids, the MLB The Show, Pokken Tournament, River City Girls, There's different ones at random times where you're able to try out games for free if you want them. The game vouchers is another deal that they just added and they brought back from a few years ago. You're able to buy these retro controllers and even unlock certain things like this for Super Smash Brothers and member exclusive things. And one of the other cool things they added are the missions and rewards for your avatar and for your actually for your icon. So for example, the Fire Emblem Engage is one of the most recent ones, and these rotate all the time. All you have to do is complete missions, change all the time as well, and that's how you earn platinum rewards. And with the expansion pass, this also, so that's the thing that adds it to the base NSO version, which is the Nintendo 64, the Game Boy Advance, and they included Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, all of the levels that they're releasing all the way through the end of 2023, which is a really good deal. So they just recently released Wave 3, and Wave 4 is about to release at the end of this year. Wave 4, 5, and 6. So all of this is included. So there's Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3, then Wave 4, all the way till December 31st. So this is insane. So many levels. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just won't die. And also included is the Happy Home Paradise from Animal Crossing New Horizons. Octo expansion from Splatoon 2 is one of the recommended expansions that you guys have to play this if you have not tried it. And the Sega Genesis. This is another system that has a lot of games and there's a lot more to come. So these are the membership options. So there's a lot of choices actually, and that's one of the criticisms from when it first released, that because it was so cheap, people did say that it was okay with so little content that it had. But now that there's so much content, it's actually really cheap if you have a membership and you all split it up into 8 users. So that's a really good deal for the 12-month membership of $80 that's split it between 8 people, which is really, really cool. There's also individual memberships. All right, so let's get out of here and look at some of the games. And actually, since they just released the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boys, let's go and take a look at all the little features that are included in certain systems. Classic sound right there for the Game Boy. And the high quality box art is so cool. So far, here are the games that they released. So if you go to the left, you can also play one player and online multiplayer with your friends only. You can't do it with random people. Local multiplayer and online games for certain games. And here's the cool thing about settings. You can try out the Game Boy Pocket, and Game Boy Color, and you can even change different filters to reproduce the classic feel or play it small screen. And you can even play the North American version and the European versions as well. Go and take a look at Super Mario Land 2, which I actually just completed. So here's a couple, and with another cool thing, another quality of life for all these old school games is you can load and create suspend points easily. So I created a couple, so let's go ahead and take a look. Let's look at the overworld real quick. Let's create the old school look first, and let's see how it looks. See the difference right there. See the Game Boy Pocket. Yeah, big difference. So many different options. Go to the Game Boy Advance and just show you some gameplay. Go to Super Mario Brothers. So yeah, these are the few games that have been released so far. And they look really, really clean, very colorful, and high def. Go to the brand new areas, the e-reader sections, and just play. Alright, let's use the rewind feature so you guys can see how it works. It's a really, really handy thing in these old school. Just in case you mess up, you can go back.
Nintendo Switch Online. On Nintendo Switch, you can play these games anytime, anywhere, just like you could back in the day. Let's introduce the games that will be available at launch. Tetris. Arrange the falling tetraminos and aim for a high score. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. Reclaim the castle that Wario stole from you. The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening DX. Awaken the Windfish to escape Koholint Island. Gargoyle's Quest. Save the Ghoul Realm as Firebrand from the Ghosts and Goblins series. Metroid 2, Return of Samus. Destroy the Metroids hiding on planet SR-388. Wario Land 3. Traverse a world that changes between day and night based on your actions. Kirby's Dream Land. Float, inhale, and spit out enemies in Kirby's debut title. You can use the Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, or Game Boy Color screen filters. Up to 2 players can play compatible games together locally or online. More games will be added in the future.
So, what do you think? Is a Nintendo NSO, Nintendo Switch Online worth it now? Let me know in the comments section down below because I think it's worth it now with all of the content included. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and see you next time. Bye.
Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Venture through a zany world and fight with equally zany attacks. The Legend of Zelda, the Minish Cap. Shrink to miniature size and dive into a big adventure. Local and online play is supported for compatible games, and up to 4 players can play together. More games will be added to this library as well. After this presentation, you can play these Game Boy titles with the Nintendo Switch Online membership. Or play both Game Boy and Game Boy Advance titles with the Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack membership.